your source for everything paranormal. Para-X. The views expressed and the opinions given by the individual host and their guests do not necessarily reflect those of Para-X, its affiliates, or its sponsors.
Supernatural. Magic. Ghosts. UFOs. Bigfoot. Extraterrestrial. Psychic energy.
The Calling.
Good evening, everyone. It's another beautiful day in the neighborhood of The Calling. And gosh, we're really close to Halloween. And I'm scared of it. No, I'm not. Am I? I don't know. So what's new, Kimberly Juarez?
Hello, Jerry.
Hello, Kimberly.
Let's talk for the season.
It is. Let's talk sultry and sexy all night long.
We shall.
Willow, can you do that?
No, probably not.
Little Miss Cackler. The witch of the group.
Yes.
Oh, gosh. So, Kimberly, does you and your team do something special on Halloween?
This time, for some odd reason, we don't have nothing really planned. There's a couple of things that I'm thinking about, and going under the moon especially, but it is kind of chilly, but what are we going to do, The other thing was to visit cemeteries, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people will be visiting cemeteries, especially the haunted ones.
I just can't see myself doing that, and my team either. We really have no interest in going to cemeteries. Why would people still be haunting where they were thrown in the ground at? I just don't get it. Enlighten me. And 1 second. Let's see. Karen says, great cackle, Willow. And Snooky says, Willow is watching the storm. Oh, that's it. Go ahead. Okay, Kimberly?
Well, she is in the storm. That's what it is.
I know. She's right in the eye of it. And
right. Not now.
Exactly.
No, it passed you?
Mm-hmm. Twice.
She's in the dark, actually, everyone. She's actually in the dark.
Yes, I am.
No power but a flashlight, and she's making these spooky faces.
I love it.
And Willow, just for the heck of it, give us a really good witch's cackle.
How is that?
Those are the lizards crawling around her. They seem to dance and everything. Okay. Let's see. Last place I'll be hanging out after I pass is a cemetery. Gonna be places loved while alive. Exactly, Kat. Yes. That's, I agree with that. I mean, why would you... I just don't get the cemetery thing. Okay, Kimberly or Willow, whichever one.
Oh, well, the one cemetery that I go to that's haunted was from yellow fever, and they literally buried 150,000 people in mass graves. And because of that, here in New Orleans, one of the beliefs are that if you don't have a proper burial with some sort of memorial or something with your name on it, that your soul wanders. And they call them barons, and that's what the voodoo practitioners believe, that the spirits become barons, and the longer they're not at rest, the more angry they get. And in that cemetery, in Charity Hospital Cemetery, before they blocked it off, we'd get scratched and everything back there. There was all kinds of activity. It was crazy.
But don't you think that that's a place, I mean, where that should be sacred and you shouldn't be going into it? I mean, the natives, believe that you shouldn't be messing with a burial site.
Yeah, but I don't go in messing with them. I just go in
Right.
to see if there's any contact. And not only that, I mean, a lot of people claim that these are old cemeteries, and a lot of people claim that some of these people weren't ready to die, and they're attached to their body in a sense. They're not ready to just move on. So I've gotten one of my best EVPs in a cemetery, and that was out of a fluke,
Right.
So
I don't know. I mean, that's up to you and stuff like that. I mean, I'm not trying to belittle you on that or anything like that. I just, I figure like if somebody was not ready to die and then they did die, they would usually be at the last place. Somebody murdered them,
Right.
why come alive at a cemetery where, it's like they're never going to show up, man.
Well, this is
keep waiting.
this is my thought too. Now, like, let's say if we, look at a cemetery plot and you're just looking around or whatnot, because you go to a funeral or whatever, and you look at one and then you say the name. Sometimes I even think, because even trying to contact somebody, or I'm not saying I do this because I really don't do anything like that, but sometimes when you're like saying that person's name, I would think that they would be like, okay, what do these people want? So a lot of these people would conjure a lot of these souls, and they would come out, through the cemetery if that's the case. Like when I got I had that feeling that, I see this man's, gravesite, and I said I felt like he was sick, and then all of a sudden I hear, I wonder if this person was sick. I go, were you sick, sir? And all of a sudden you get, yes, like a male. I said, sir, and there was no other male around me. So I mean, what is that? I must have got something. I must have hit something right for him to say, yes, I was sick. So I mean, who's to say? I would think that that's what happens.
Are you sure it wasn't your tummy growl?
No, it was loud.
We actually had somebody's stomach growl once, and it actually sounded like "Get Out." So,
Really?
I mean, yeah, I always say that, and the team always laughs at me. They're like, Jerry, and I said, we have it, because it's like, if I always tell newbies when they start that, if your stomach growls, your throat gets a throat grumble, or you fart, you plain and simple say that's what you did. We did have a person once. We did an investigation with a newbie, and all those things happened: the throat growl, the belly grumble, and the fart. And they were like,
"That's hilarious."
Trifecta, man. And I'm like, oh, dude, this is just not right. I'm not going to mention who it is because I don't want people making fun of them. But it's...
So it was a guy. We got that part. It was a guy.
That's hilarious.
Funny. Yeah. So tonight we're going to be talking about witches, vampires, zombies, oh crap, type of thing. Ceiling cat, I log into a fart joke. Yeah, kind of. You're going to have to listen to the show's repeat to know what we're talking about.
It's a haunted fart.
Yeah. Well, Kat's even saying, Stomach was telling that Taco Bell food to get out.
That's funny.
Yeah. Anyway, so now talking about when it comes to witches and stuff like that. Now, we have a witch on our team, which is kind of nice. Willow the witch. And tell me, Willow, what are you exactly? Are you Wiccan? Are you pagan?
I have trained in Wicca. For probably 2 decades, I was practicing Wicca. But presently, I would say more traditional witch, following more hereditary lines and just being solitary.
Okay.
And what is the difference, Willow? What is the difference between
Um,
like a Wiccan and a, you know, because I know one of them is they have to do, it has to do with naturals, which is like earth, wind, fire, water. You know, they work on basically like natural things, or they do their spells through natural herbs and stuff like that. Am I correct? Or
well, all witches generally will use that type of stuff.
okay,
Wicca is more organized. Wicca would
okay,
be, and and I am not against Wicca at all, because
hmm
that's what a lot of people follow that are new to it, new
hmm
to the craft. But for me, it was, I didn't need as many of those focus tools as
okay,
maybe they did. I don't do all those rituals. I used
hmm
to. Now I do more natural things. If I need something, I will make an oil for myself, or I will, you know, throw coins in my money bowl, or, you know,
hmm
it's not like I have to set up an entire circle, call the quarters, have all of the items on the altar. I don't do that anymore. I
right,
go with just the natural energies.
hmm
And I think that to me is the difference, from doing more of the formal ritual setup,
okay,
to what I do now, which is more just natural witchcraft, I guess.
okay. So does this? I mean, one more question, Jerry. So does this mean like were you were you into it? Were you like was this something that maybe your mom was maybe Wiccan at that point, or a witch of some sort, or maybe your grandmother, because it usually skips generations, that type of
Um,
thing?
well, my grandmother had gifts, but she died when I was 3.
Okay.
So, and my mother, she was very much Catholic. My father was very much Baptist.
hmm
I never really started going into Wicca until like 1995, 1996.
Okay.
It was at that point that I started to study and learn about it, and, you know, started to train with other witches to learn how to
hmm
do everything.
Okay.
Once I moved to Tucson, Arizona, I became part of the Tucson Area Wiccan Pagan Network.
Okay.
They have lots and lots of members. At one point, I was a co-coordinator. And then I got married and left the area, so I left all that behind. And I think at that point, I stopped doing the rituals. I
Okay.
realized I lived out in the mountains and places where I could work with just natural elements, and so
Uh-huh.
that's where I did my switch.
Huh. Interesting. Now, now I got to tell you this just real quick, but I lived in Apache Junction, and somebody told me that right there on the edge of the Apache Junction where the mountains start up, they said
Uh-huh.
that there were claims that they would see a witch that was very harmful to people. That they would claim they would see her, and she was a horrible looking person. Like she looked like really
Oh
hag
wow.
like, and they literally said that she would curse you. She would literally come at you, and people like some people got sick and stuff like that after they seen her. Isn't that bizarre? That is bizarre.
Well, you know, hexes and curses are psychological for the most part. When we can plant something in someone's head, they'll believe it,
Right. Right.
right? And so
hmm
if somebody is really scary looking, and then they're telling you you're going to get warts on your body, and because our
Yeah.
mind is so powerful that if we can convince ourselves that we're sick, we'll get sick. Or
Right.
we convince ourselves we have bad luck. Every single little thing that goes wrong, we think that it's the curse.
Exactly. Exactly.
So it's the
But
mind. It's really
I
the
think
mind.
it's interesting because, and then when they were telling me this, it was a bank teller that told me this because she says, "Oh, you're into the paranormal." I'm like, "Yeah," and then she's like, um, so she, but it was funny because she's like, "Yeah, I just wanted to tell you about that," and I said, "Well, where is this at again?" There's me. I'll go see her. Go visit her and tell her what's up. I don't know. But
Bring
anyway,
her some flowers.
there's something here. I'm sorry you're having such a bad day. I don't know. Let me show you some light. Love and light. But you know what I mean? I would just think it's so bizarre that, that they claim these things, that witches are these people when they really aren't. They're really
Right.
are natural people, and they believe in natural remedies, and they believe in natural things, and they're not really there to curse or anything. There are some spells. I've seen a book of spells. I've seen that. Do you use any spells of any sort?
No, not really. I used to, I guess, during Wicca, we would find written spells that, and covens would get together and we would try different things. But for myself, I like I said, I do everything more natural now, so I don't have to write out a spell, let's say.
Right.
What I generally do now is I'll go to the divine. I might write out like an affirmation or a petition that this is what I'm working on.
Nice.
And I'll light a candle and just give it, and put it under the candle. But that's the way I do my stuff now, and it works just as well as if I did the huge ritual.
Right.
So that's the difference.
Go ahead, Jerry. I'm taking over the show.
You're doing great. You're doing great. The cat was saying Willow's not going to go all Slytherin on us and say only purebloods are real witches, is she?
Of course not.
Okay. I was like, well, I wonder if she's going to do that. Wow.
No, I'm a Heinz 57.
Oh, okay. Well, I was really shocked to find out because I was doing some research on witches, and in 931 BC and in 721 BC in the Bible, it's the book of 1 Samuel. It actually talked about that the story of King Saul sought the witch of Endor to summon the dead prophet Samuel's spirit to help him defeat the Philistine army. The witch roused Samuel, who then prophesied the death of Saul and his sons. The next day, according to the Bible, Saul's son died in battle, and Saul committed suicide. And it says other Old Testament versions condemn witches, such as in Exodus 22:18, which says, "Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live." Additional biblical passages caution against chanting and other witch or other use of witches in contact with the dead. So, knowing people around and stuff like that, when you actually tell them or let them know that you're a witch, do some of them act like they should just burn you?
Only the crazy fanatics that walk up to me in Jackson Square carrying their signs and pulling their 9-foot solid wooden cross on wheels.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Do you ever get up and then put your hands up like, you're putting something and just kind of mumble at them?
No, basically I tell them that it's against the law for them to stop me from doing my job. It's called interference with commerce, and I can call the police and have them arrested.
Well, that's no fun.
And then they go away because they know I can, because I've just cited actual law. You cannot interfere with commerce.
Wow, I'll be darned. I guess I'm quite surprised by that.
I think that's not fair if whoever summons the witch to call this dead person up, that's not fair to the witch, and then they cast him. Why did you know what I mean? He's the one that asked her to do it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, come on now, that's not fair.
Yep.
Jeez.
And that's how we got to the burning times, ladies and gentlemen.
Right? I guess so.
Right.
Jeez.
Wow. I know that there are some people that actually have pieces of rope that they believe from way back in the days of the witch burning and stuff like that, that they feel actually brings them good fortune as long as they keep them with themselves. And when they die, they're supposed to give them off to their family. Have you ran across anybody like that or heard of stuff like that?
I haven't myself. I'm sure it's possible. I've never seen that artifact or heard about it. I mean, I have friends in Salem. I suppose I could ask them.
Wow. And let's see. It's there's prostitute things. I guess I'm reading some of the things that people are saying, and actually, like Stephanie said, and actually, just by using a little push or a little magic could make you a witch. Where is the one that I was looking for? I guess I can't find it. A lot of things going to the practical magic. When Willow's not on the website because all she has is her iPad, and iPads, they can't do two things at one time. So sorry, little slam to Apple there, but. So she's not able to see what you guys are saying. So if you guys do have a question, let us know, and either Kimberly or I will bring her, bring it up to her. Speed read, Jerry. Come on. I can't read it all. Come on. I mean, it took me a long time to say your name, Cat. Okay, so. Okay, so in the witches type thing and stuff like that, Kimberly, how come, did you ever get into witchcraft?
No, I'm just interested in it. So I read a lot on it and stuff like that. So I never really got into witchcraft because to me, if I'm not somebody who's like witch, into it or anything, I believe that in another life I probably was one because I'm interested in one. In the things that happen and stories or whatnot, especially knowing about what happened in Salem, it really, really hurts the fact that these women were burned for nothing, and it makes me feel really sad about it because I don't believe all witches are bad. Now, the thing I wanted to ask Willow was, let's say if somebody got into it and started conjuring up things that were really bad, because I know of somebody who's done that. And, this was a known psychic. And then all of a sudden she went to the other side and it seemed like now she seems a little bit dark and more, and she has more friends and stuff like that but I feel like if somebody's doing something and casting spells on somebody, I feel like that's going to take from you as well when you're casting these things. Am I right?
Well, you always have to look back at even the Wiccan law of three, because what you send out comes back to you threefold.
Three times.
I always say tenfold because I'm not messing with that.
Exactly.
I won't do anything negative because I know that if I send it out, it's karma. If you harm someone, it will eventually come back to harm you. Right. And I don't even, if somebody harms me, I just say karma's going to take care of it. And and I just go, karma happens swiftly, and that's about it. And I let it go because I know, they've sent that out. It's going to come back to them. And so, it's like you should never, ever do any kind of spell work that's going to do anything negative to someone else, including love magic.
Ooh. I have to admit, I did do that, though, once. I really was love with somebody, and I thought that would be a good thing to do. So my brother talked to somebody that was a witch, and he told him what for me to do, and that was to put their name 3 times, fold it up, put it under your shoe, so if you want to keep him, and all this weird stuff. I'm not kidding. And and then I thought to myself, oh my God, because I found my shoes later and I found I don't know what, it just popped out of the shoe. And I'm like, oh my God, I still have this. you know, like, get rid of
Well,
it.
yeah, I mean, think about that, because if you bind them to you,
Right.
you bound yourself to them. And you
That's what
can't
it
get
felt
rid
like.
of them when you want to.
That's what it felt like. Now, I'm just
Yep.
talking about when I was younger, you know, and
Yeah.
that's what it felt like. So I burned it. I burned it because
Okay.
I thought I don't want nothing to do with it. So I burned
Well,
it immediately.
even though she did that, Willow, could that still come back and bite her?
No,
if
he's
it's-
actually gone. So it's like
Yeah. No.
you know, so
It-
it's now it's way better.
But
So
still, wait a minute. Well, hold on now. So you say he's gone? He's dead?
no. Oh no. No, I didn't want to run that.
But you
Because she
still
burnt the
did it.
paper, Jerry.
Okay, hold on. So she still did it. So could it still come back at her?
Probably not now. You know,
That was a while back ago, I want to say.
yeah, like I'm talking like I have seen people go so far with ritual to trap somebody in loving them that they'll use blood in their spell. They'll do all kinds of stuff. I mean,
know.
heavy duty stuff.
Yeah, I know about the blood stuff. Yeah.
And
And,
people
yeah.
will come to me. I get asked all the time, would you do a love spell for me? And I'm like, well, number one, I don't do those. Number two, you need to do your own spell work. I don't do that for anybody but me. If I were to do anything, it would be only for myself. And you're not supposed to change the will of anyone else. You can't do that. That's wrong.
That's true. That's true.
I
would
used to
believe
teach
that.
ethics. I used to teach a magical ethics class
Oh, nice.
to people. Yeah.
Wow.
Huh.
Okay, now let's go back to that. I'm still on that type of thing. You beat a love spell or whatever. Is there a way, like if you did do it and then all of a sudden you felt huge remorse, is there a way to get that off of you?
It takes time. It can be done, but it's a lot of work.
Okay, so like when you say a lot of work, costs a lot of money to have it done, or
No,
just
it should never cost any money to have any spell work done. That's key for anybody that's looking for that, okay? If somebody tells you they're going to charge you $500 to do this, that, or the other thing magically for you, run for the hills. They are nothing but a scam artist, okay? I'm sorry. That's not right.
okay. So
If-
okay,
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. I
No,
go
that's
ahead
okay.
and finish.
So, no, go ahead. What were you going to ask? Because maybe I can elaborate on it.
Okay, would that be the same thing? Let's say, how would you put that close to clearing? Like if a person was to, helping somebody that's got a haunted house and they're going to clear it. So is that still put in the same type of thing as a spell? Because they're doing
No.
something in the home to clear it.
No, I don't consider that a spell. That I do as spiritual work. I would go in to do that as a priestess or as a reverend. I wouldn't go in there as just a witch making some cash to clear somebody's house. That's
Right.
not what you do.
Okay, so you wouldn't charge for helping somebody to do that?
Not if somebody needs a clearing, no.
Okay.
No,
And
the only
why
time
wouldn't
I
you
would
be?
charge, the only time I charge is if somebody comes in for a full session into my home. We do, readings, Reiki, and then if I find something on them, I clear them. It's still all part of the same package. I'm not
Okay.
going to charge you for extra stuff.
But is there anything that could happen to them or to you if you go to somebody's house to clear spirits out and say you charged $500, $600, $700 to do that?
I'd be rich right now, and no,
No. Okay.
I've never done that.
But I guess, do you find it to be right?
I find it to be a little unethical. Okay, quite unethical. Nobody should charge that kind of money to go in to help somebody, to help their home be cleared. Would the priest charge somebody that much to go in to do a house blessing?
No, he doesn't charge.
Correct.
That's
I
Correct.
know a
right.
priest that does.
Now-
So should any reverend or priestess ever go in and charge the same way? No, That's part of a spiritual service that should always be offered to people at no charge.
Okay, that's I agree to that too. I don't believe there should be a charge for that. I mean, that's, I don't know. It's
I agree with that too. I do. But there are a lot of people who charge a lot of money even to do a paranormal investigation. And it's like, if you're trying to help somebody, you should be able to just go in and help them, not being, this is like, when I do it, it's like research for me. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, because you never know what can happen in any case. So it's like a research kind of a thing. And I know that the pastor doesn't ask for, especially on a house blessing, you're trying to help somebody,
Right.
So
honestly, Jerry, I think this is kind of a segue into a vampire because you just drained somebody of their money.
Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah, because I just don't see it. I mean, that's, and I've known people that do that and they make a good living off of it, and you're draining people. And when it comes to people being, if they decide they want to tip you for it or donation, that's a little different story. But
that's a different story. Yeah. Let me give you some money for the gas that you use to come over here to help, with this.
Yeah.
That's different.
Yeah,
or here, I baked you some cookies, or something.
Right. Oh, we're going to go to break, and then we're going to be right back. We're going to finish this discussion before we move on to vampires. So hang on, everybody. We'll be right back.
Whether you're listening at home, at work, or anywhere, thanks for making Para X part of your day. Your source for everything paranormal. Para X.
They charge $500 to $1,000 to do it.
God.
And I don't think
those geek ladies, Sean and Victoria from Exploring the Paranormal with Geeks Paranormal, are at it again with another amazing season full of paranormal celebrity interviews with amazing guests and stories of haunted locations and so much more. You will hear it first on Para X. Tune in Wednesday nights, 8 p.m. Central. You will not be disappointed. In order for the light to shine so brightly, the darkness must be present. Tune in every Monday at 10 o'clock for Dark Sun Rising on the Para X Radio Network.
I don't know if you've heard, but there's a great new radio show on Para X. 2 hosts, 1 hour, and too much fun. Stephanie and Heidi not only talk about the latest goings-on in the supernatural worlds, they live it. They want to hear from you. They want to help you understand and guide you. And they want you to tune in. So, grab a friend or come alone to gather around that metaphysical table with Heidi and Stephanie. If you're interested in the worlds of the unseen, tune in to the Gathering Radio Show, Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern on Para X Radio.
And we're back. This is Jerry with the Calling, along, of course, with the Wimberleys. And hey, if you're enjoying the show so far and you don't have time to listen to the rest of it or anything like that, that is just fine. Tomorrow, this show will be put on, actually Friday, I'm not going to be around to do it, will be put on our website, www.thecallingradioshow.com by Friday evening, and then you can listen to the rest of it entirely, or if you missed the first half, you can do the same thing. Also, too, you can also go to our YouTube channel, The Calling Radio Show, at any time and take a listen to it there. And hey, Para X has got great shows, guys. They have The Gathering every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Stephanie and Heidi, they do a fantastic job. And if you missed last night's show, Tuesday night show, you should check it out and find it and listen to it. It was awesome. You have Geeks Paranormal right after our show. Monday night, you got Mike's Odyssey Files also too. So there's a lot of good shows. Check them out and go for it. Okay, so we're back now. Let's get into this a little bit. Now, there's a lot of people that that don't believe that they should. Some believe, like I do, that that paranormal investigators, stuff like that, should not be paid for doing clearings. If people want to donate, they can give them donations and stuff. A lot of people are saying, well, wait a minute, that reverends, pastors, stuff like that they get charged for it. Well, yeah, they get paid from the church because that's their job. So that's something that they do. That's just my opinion. I'm not trying to throw it on you, but I'm just saying that this is my belief, is that I don't believe that they should be charged for any of that stuff. What are your thoughts? Well, Kimberly, you kind of agreed with it, and didn't you, or did you not?
Yeah, I agreed with it, and I also know that the church, because I do work for a Catholic church. The father gets paid once a month, and then that's it. So whatever he has to do it no matter what. You know what I mean? So it's not like he's getting paid for it. So just saying. So yeah, and he doesn't charge. So I believe that you shouldn't charge, especially if you're helping someone. So I agree with Jerry.
Right. So now, when it comes to what's going on to the vampire type thing, so I'm going to start with Willow on this. Willow, what's your thing on vampires?
Well, Jerry.
Well, Willow.
On October 29th of 2014, I was fanged by Father Sebastian Van Houten and became one of the Sabretooth clan. Yes, Jerry, I'm a vampire witch.
That's the big kahuna guy.
Who is he?
Yeah.
Who is he? What do you... Wait.
Sebastian
Who is this
Van
guy?
Houten.
Mm-hmm.
And
He wears a tall hat, and he's very... Why are they so... This is what I want to know, Willow. Why are these men vampires? Why do they why are they like these sexy, look at the movies that they put out. He's always these sexy looking, good looking vampires. You know what I mean? They always sit there and make them look like they're these great looking guys, and they just can trance,
And some are, and let me tell you, some aren't. Some just aren't.
So, okay, hold on. Let's go back here. You said he fanged you. What does that mean?
He's a fang smith. He makes prosthetic fangs that just snap onto your teeth. So there are lots of us that have these fangs. It's very hard to get an appointment with him anymore. He's pretty booked up. Well, probably not right now, but he was very booked up, up until COVID. And now he's moved on to doing some TV work. Yes, with Zach Baggins that we, yeah. But he lives in LA now. So he used to do, he started in New York. And so a lot of his fangs, he had a shop there and he did fangs there. When he did mine, he comes to New Orleans every Halloween for the Endless Night Vampire Ball. It's the largest vampire gathering in the world here in New Orleans every year, except for this year. They had to go virtual because of COVID. And it's been held at the House of Blues for a long time. Mm-hmm. I think since its inception, actually, it was at the House of Blues. But now they're doing it virtual this year because, of course, they couldn't gather. But it just keeps growing every year. So, there's 1,000 vampires that gather every Halloween. And they're from all over the world.
Yeah, and there's some that are very, very religious on this vampire
because
stuff.
It's an actual lifestyle. And
Right.
it is a religion. They have created their own religion, basically.
Yep.
Fred Samedi, for one thing, is their Loa, and they've created Veves for all of the houses and all of the different deities that they now have that rule the houses of the vampires. There's 4 of them. So it's like it's very complicated, and because I already have my own spiritual belief system, it was very difficult for me to cross over into that. I just couldn't do it.
Okay.
And so I would go and do the parties and hang out, and lots of the vampires are my friends, and I consider them family. It's just I don't follow that religious path or that
Right.
spiritual path.
Right.
Right. Okay. Now I'm going to go back to this Fang thing. So you were. I want to know, like Steph's asking too, are there really vampires? Number one, like they drink blood and live forever type thing. But so you said Fang. So he bit you?
No, he made me fangs. He gave me fangs.
Jeez. Well, why didn't you say that? Here I'm thinking like
Well,
he
it sounds
came over
better,
and-
Jerry, if you fanged me.
Lord. So
you
you
said
were
sultry and sexy tonight, so we started with that, right? So,
Well, that's the way they make them look all the time.
That's
You know what I
right.
mean? They do. They really do. I mean, look at all your movies. You had, was it Tom Cruise and that other guy that was in I can't even remember some of these movies, but
Brad Pitt.
I mean, yeah. But think about it, Willow. I mean, there's a lot that do drink blood. And did you ever drink blood?
No, that's
Okay.
That's the one thing. Saber-tooths do not follow that practice.
Okay.
They advise against it very highly.
Mhm.
They do more energy vampirism, more sexual vampirism. So that's more along the lines of the energies that they work with. They don't drink blood.
Okay.
Yeah.
But there are lots of groups that do that.
Yes.
That I don't.
They're considered sanguine.
Okay.
What?
A sanguine.
Oh, I thought you said a
That's
penguin.
No, not a penguin, not a penguin, a sanguine.
Jerry. Jerry.
Okay,
He's hooked
so
on fangs. He's just
hold on
doing the
before-
fang thing.
hold on. So now Kat's saying, fess up. He bit you. Now that you've risen, you have fangs too. Right?
Sure. We'll go with that. Okay, fine. And I will live forever. I'm 3,500 right now, and yeah, that's what we're doing. That's why I look so youthful. Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. So now, I had a friend of mine that she actually, when she found out that I had a show, and I wanted to see if she would come on just for a little bit tonight and talk about it. And she said she really doesn't want to talk about it. So I'm not going to mention her name. I think Steph knows who I'm talking about. But anyway, that they were blood drinkers. They were vampires, and they went through. You had to go in. You had to see if you had any diseases and stuff like that. You had to be, no sex and anything else for a very long time. You had to be honest and straightforward with the group before you would get into the bloodletting, and you would drink each other's blood. There would be a cut made, usually on your shoulder, by your neck and your shoulder, a small one, and they would actually drink the blood.
Yep.
Gross.
I know sanguines. I just don't participate with them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
No.
Yeah.
No, not my cup of blood. No.
Karen says, I think blood drinking makes one sort of sick. It makes me sick just thinking about it. I mean, that's just nasty.
Well, that and blood, once it's out of the body, is dead. You're not getting energy from that. Okay?
That's true.
You get energy from energy, but you don't get energy from dead blood.
Right. Ugh.
The vampire movies, have you ever watched them?
Yeah.
You don't drink it till they're dead because you'll take their death inside of you.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So you don't drink, like Queen of the Damned. Remember when Maharet decided to take in all of it so that they would die? Right? And then she turned to stone because she took all of it.
All of
She
it.
took the death in her.
That's
Yeah, I've
true.
seen all my
Wow.
vampire movies. Uh-huh.
I'll be darned. It's just incredible. I mean, that things are still going on like that. And I know that there's people. No, going back just to the Wiccan thing, sorry, or to the witch thing. Did you ever get out and do the dance of the knives under, naked underneath a full moon type thing?
No.
Oh, okay.
I have done the spiral dance with Star Hawks group back in, when was that? Like 1999, 2000. I did that, but we all had our clothes on. My coven all had purple robes. We all matched. Of course, it was purple. It's my color.
So now, do you find that there's a lot of groups around? Well, Kimberly, do you find there's a lot of groups around Wasika like that?
There are some groups that are here, like locally, Mankato. They study like Wiccans, and there's witches and stuff like that. So I do meet a lot of them, and they're into the paranormal too as well. So, but do you find it more like? I feel like there's more and more growing. You know what I mean? I mean, is that
Yes.
too also in the vampire as well?
More paganism, I think, and witches than, well, I guess vampires. It's growing. It was really, really popular when I first started back in like 2012. And then when I got my fangs in 2014, it was like I'm feeling more like it was at the height where everybody wanted to have
to do it.
fangs. Everybody, well, I think it was after all of the Anne Rice movies started coming out. Everybody wanted
that's
to be like
true.
that.
Right.
And
that's
now
true.
I think it is more. I think it's still there. I've just kind of gotten away from the community for the most part, so I don't really know all of the scoop of what's going on now. Though I keep getting invites to all of their things. Don't have time.
Right.
Gotcha. Wow, this has kind of opened up my eyes about my co-host.
Well, I told you secrets might be revealed tonight.
Great. So, Kimberly, I'm going to go back to you for a second there. Now, when we were talking about witches and stuff like that, you were talking about them going into dark magic and stuff. Is that one person somebody that I know too?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Steph knows her too.
Yeah.
So just saying,
I just
because
wanted
I mean, what goes around comes around, Jerry. And
Yeah.
I feel like they've casted more spells than anything at this point, and I just know that when you're doing that, it's just like putting bad on somebody. You're just going to get sucked up, and into something that you're not going to care for, because what you do to people, it's just like Willow said, it's 10 times more. So I'm just letting you guys know.
Right. Right. No, okay, so sorry, I'm going to go back to Willow here for a second. Now, Willow, when there is bad juju or whatever, something like that put onto you, a person can defend themselves from that, right?
Of course. Strong mind, and you might have a focus tool like a piece of jewelry, or you put protection bubbles around yourself with energy. There's multiple ways to protect yourself. I know when I was going to my first vampire event, somebody handed me a piece of hematite and told me to keep it in my pocket. It would keep psychic vampires from draining my energy. So I always tell people, keep a piece of hematite. You won't have your energy drained.
That's something else I wanted to touch base on, that people talk about that they're ghosts. How do they say it? They're like spiritual vampires that take all your spirit from your body. So yeah.
Well, they're more what I would call them as an energy vampire.
Right.
And some of the things that I have found, and I've met many, many energy vampires through my years. A lot of them just have personality disorders. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. They won't ever let you talk. And you'll feel so tired by the time you leave that area away from them. You're like, what just happened? I got hit by a truck, And so really, I think it's, that's why hematite is a good protection stone. And I think that's why they told me to carry it.
Nice.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I know that, what's his name? Bodine, Michael Bodine.
Michael Bodine.
He's been on the show a couple times, a long time ago, and I know he's been on The Gathering a couple times. He's got such a foul mouth, but he's such a great guy. And but he talks about, he knows a family of vampires, real vampires. And he talks about the energy vampires, pretty much anybody that, just kind of, just wants to argue for no reason at all or anything, just for them to be, feel better about themselves, and you don't want to hear it. And it's the next thing you know, all your stuff is gone from you. And there you go. You made somebody's day, but yet they ruined the heck out of yours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yep.
Wow. Let's see now. Kat says, I wonder how many vampires have been run over by people only using their review mirrors backing up. Okay, that's hilarious.
Because you can't see them.
I don't know about you guys, but this vamp can see in the mirror, because how am I going to put my makeup on?
Right?
There you go. That's right. That's right.
We got to look good.
That's funny.
There
Kat.
are some, and I have to say something about that too, because they say a lot of these people too sleep in coffins as well, and they're beautified once they're up, and you know what I mean. So Willow, you're always ready,
Well, this is true, and I did have a coffin for a while. It was a prop for my company, but I did own a coffin.
Wow. It's funny.
Look at Jerry. You guys should see his face right now. He's like,
it worked perfect in my seance room. It was always set
That's
up
great.
and had a nice purple cross on the top of it.
Good grief.
as long as it wasn't used.
Why would you want to use one?
No, I had it made especially
Jerry.
for me. It was brand new. It was fine.
Nicole, my roommate, was saying that we talked about dying one day, and I said, well, I just want to be cremated, and thrown in a lake or something like that, And she was saying that she wants to be buried in an old-fashioned coffin, a wood one. She wants it lined in red and black, and all that stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. Well, it's like another buddy of mine. He went and was putting a deck before our deck stairs and stuff like that. So he went and bought a skeleton from the dollar store, and he put it right where he did that at. So one day they're going to rot out, and if somebody goes and digs them out, if he sells the house, they're going to see these bones buried there, and it's I think it's just really funny. Let's see. The term, what is that? Dendophile? Do you see that?
Yeah, I see it. Yep, dendophile.
What is a
The person who loves trees and forest.
Oh, okay.
That's what they're talking about, the girls.
Why are they talking about that for?
I don't know. That's why I'm going to go look.
I don't know. I want to be cremated, and I want my ashes put under a tree so I can nourish the tree.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I actually do just want to be thrown into a lake or something like that. A sky burial. Oh, there you go. Made into like little acorns or something like that.
Well, they do a lot. Now there's a lot of things. You could be planted as a tree.
Yeah.
I could kind of see Steph doing that, being a tree.
Oh, yeah.
There's
what I mean?
There's a company. I just read about it. It's called Living Urn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they grow the tree under
Tree.
it. Or
Uh-huh.
they put that under the tree.
That's one thing me and one of the ex-members of SIM and ex thing of The Calling, co-host of The Calling, we always talked about, getting enough money up to get by out in the country, lots and lots of land, and we would do two things. It would be burial grounds for those type of pods,
Right.
so you'd grow in a tree or bush
Tree
or
pod.
whatever, and then in the middle of it, we would make catacombs where your urn then could be put down in the catacombs, and also make, believe it or not, a coffee wine bar. No, it just really gets weird here, but so that if people are lonely, that and they miss their relative or their friend or whatever, that they would go and give the waiter the ticket of who they were or what urn it was, and then they would go bring them up so they can have a coffee or a glass of wine with them. I know that sounds weird.
That doesn't really sound weird to me. I kind of like that idea.
That's
really
a cool
good
idea. I like
It is.
Yeah,
I
I
do.
think that would be really kind of a cool thing. What was I going to say about that now? Keep going on with the show. I'll remember it. Karen says she likes it. There'd be quite a few legal requirements to
Yeah.
in a private or
that.
public cemetery. Yeah, I'm sure there would be. I think, it's kind of a cool thing.
Right.
You don't have to worry about the gravestones being knocked over, and a really cool name. I mean, like the, I don't know really what to name it. There was something else I was going to say, and I just don't remember. Anyway, go on with the show.
We forgot about the zombies.
Oh, the zombies. Oh my gosh, we did. Well, that's one thing. Out of curiosity, we'll ask everybody. Yeah, brain fart. I get a lot of them, Karen.
Zombie ate it.
Zombie ate it. That's right. So now here's in Casper's daily polls. I don't know. Are you guys part of that on Facebook?
I
Yeah.
don't follow
I
it.
see it.
I haven't seen it.
I rarely
Oh.
see it. Yeah.
I
Well,
joined it. I just don't see it.
Gotcha. Well, it's pretty cool. And one of the things that he put in there was, which one would you rather have happen? Vampires or zombies? So just kind of curious out there to everybody that's listening in the chat room, what would you like? Would you like vampires or would you like zombies? I myself, I'm a zombie person. So I'd rather have zombies than vampires. Your
No.
guys' thoughts?
I would want
No,
to be a vampire. I would be a
Vampire.
vampire. Mhm.
Why
Yeah.
vampires? I mean, they're strong. They're going to come down. They're going to take one of your kin and suck all their blood out of them and stuff, or turn them. Where vampire or zombies, you just got to stick them in the head and they're done.
Oh, would you? Oh, like that?
What we want. Oh.
I was thinking what
Slow
you
moving
do.
What do
one.
we want to be? Oh,
Oh.
I'm confused.
Okay, hold on. It would be slow-moving zombies.
Oh, okay, that's better. Well, God, they're just so annoying, though.
Why are they annoying? What
And
do
then
they?
they fall
they're
apart.
gross.
And
They're
they fall
gross.
apart and they stink, from what I
They
understand.
smell. You can smell them when they're coming. Ew.
Ew.
I'd much rather hot, sexy vampires running around just killing off everybody.
Oh my God, hot, sexy vampires. Really? It's like, excuse
I
me, sir,
know.
you have
Kim-
something in your
Kim's
fang.
on my side.
Well, that's
I know
okay.
she
It's
is.
Kimberly. It's
Sorry.
no. No,
I'm sorry, Jerry. I don't want to smell raw, nasty.
No,
dead.
no.
you can burn
I
them.
just
You'd
say,
have to
turn
burn
me,
the
honey, turn
vampires.
me. Just turn me. I'll help you out.
Well, Sherry said zompires.
Vampires.
Yep.
Oh
And
my
Steph,
God.
you're agreeing with the hot, sexy vampires. I'm very
There you go.
excited by that.
There you go.
Yeah, werewolves. What do you think of werewolves?
I think they're a little hairy. I dated a guy once. He had way too much back hair. Sorry.
Okay, that went the wrong direction like I wanted it to.
Well, I thought he was
Okay.
a werewolf. It was scary.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that was. Thank God we're getting close to the end of the show here.
Hey, I'm
So-
keeping it lively.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for Sarge to play that music.
Your lights aren't even on yet, Willow. You're still in the dark. Willow
I'm
is
still
still
in the dark.
Willow, you are still in the dark, darling.
I have to keep it in the theme of the season.
Right.
I just hope it doesn't last too long. I don't want everything in the fridge to go bad.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Don't open it up ever.
No. I have a frozen gallon of jug of water in both the fridge and in the freezer to keep
Oh,
it cold.
smart.
Gotcha.
Smart.
Gotcha. Okay, that's the end of the show. Let's get out of this now.
Woohoo!
All right. Thank you all for listening. We really appreciate it. Thank you, troops, for listening. And gosh, Para X, we love you very much. Sarge, you're the greatest, man. Appreciate it. And everybody have a great week and be safe out there. And make sure you check
Happy
your kids'.
Halloween.
Yeah,
Yes.
check
Yes.
your kids' candy
And blessed
if you do go out.
Samhain.
Yes.
They wait till I'm talking before they scream. All right. Good night, everybody. Have a good night.
Good night.
Bye.